Hey, what's up you guys, The Curious Owl here, and today I will be sharing with you guys my goals for 2021. 2020 was a really challenging year, I think, for a lot of people. For myself especially, it was a time where I think I struggled the most mentally with a lot of things because I am someone who's a constant worrier. A lot of my anxiety comes from the fact that I have a need to control a lot of things, as most people do when it comes to their anxiety. They feel like they need to have control over every single aspect of their lives, even if they actually can't tangibly control any of it. And so this was a year that really tested me in a lot of ways mentally in terms of trying to adapt and everything. So it was really hard for me in a lot of ways, but there were a lot of really good things that happened. Like, I got married in October. Robert and I moved into our first house in May. We have pretty much made it almost scar-free from this entire year. Like, we've struggled on our own a lot. I struggled very much on my own in terms of trying to get things figured out, in terms of, like, especially leading up to the wedding. I ended up having to go into therapy because a lot of the stress and anxiety I was having became very debilitating in a lot of ways. And I found myself, though, feeling like by the end of this whole year, now in December, I feel like I've kind of gone through the fire and flames and I've come out stronger, because I just feel like, especially right now as I film, I'm in the best place I think I could have ever expected to be, considering all of the crap I've gone through this year with stress and anxiety and feeling like I'm not doing enough and feeling like I constantly am overworking myself and having like to go between these two extremes kind of thing. But I feel like 2021 is going to be a little bit better of a year. It's still not going to be perfect by any means because we're still in the middle of a pandemic and will be for probably at least most of next year. But I think that I especially have gotten used to it enough to where I can go through this next year and be much better off, because now a lot of the anxiety I had in terms of 2020 is done. I'm married. I don't have to worry about that anymore. The next thing that is on the docket for us is just getting bills paid and eventually, hopefully, maybe starting our family here next year. It's something that I want to do, but I'm also cognizant of a lot of things that are going to be really challenging in terms of being prepared. So I think this year is going to be a large preparation year for Robert and I to get a family started. But those are some more personal goals, I guess, that I just automatically started talking about. But now to go into kind of my reading goals, I really surpassed my reading goal this year, which I was really excited about. I ended up doubling and almost tripling my reading goal that I had set for the beginning of 2020, which was to read 52 books. I read like 130 some books this entire year, which was amazing. I cannot believe I read that much, but I don't think I'm gonna like necessarily set a goal this year. I haven't done it in the past, and I did it this past year just because I wanted to, but I don't know. I feel like just not setting a goal is going to be much more beneficial, but I would like to possibly read more classic. I also want to continue my Stephen King reading series where I read a Stephen King book every month, and that so far has been going really well. I've enjoyed what's been going on with that, and I want to continue with it. I also want to finish my reread series of The Thirst series by Christopher Pike, which is nearing its end. February will be the last month that I will be reading from that series because I'll be reading the last book in February, and then I have another reread series I would like to start in March that I'm very excited about. It's one that I actually never finished the series, so I would really like to be able to start over and actually finish the series. I also have some other reading goals. I would like to maybe try to read some more from different authors around the world, which could play into some of my classic reading, because I feel like I want to read more classic works from other parts of the world. Like, I want to read Haruki Murakami, for instance. Like, I have heard so many good things about Haruki Murakami that I have one of his books right now on my shelf, and I want to read more of that. But I've just also been finding that there's a lot of authors from around the world that are classic writers that I would just think I would really enjoy, because they're very philosophical like, and I like the idea of classic literature being a little more on the philosophical side. So if you guys have any suggestions for that, please let me know down in the comments below, because I would love to know some great recommendations for classic works around the world. Another reading goal of mine is something that I think I've been meaning to do for a long time but haven't really just found a reason to do, and that's to finish series that I started years and years ago. I am going to be making some progress with this, I think, with this coming month in January. Like, there is one series I would like to maybe finish first because I'm going to be reading the second installment in the series here in January. But I have so many series I've been in the middle of for years, and I just never got around to reading them and finishing them for one reason or another, whether it's because I'm scared to finish the series or whatever. I also have other goals this year. I want to just be able to continue creating content for YouTube. I have so much more energy, and I also have a lot of ideas for videos that I'd like to put out next year, some involving gaming again, which I haven't done gaming in a long time. It's been almost 2 years, I think, since the last time I put out any gaming content, and truthfully, I miss it. It was one of the things I really liked doing, but I lost a lot of confidence in myself for a long period of time because I felt like nobody cared about my Sims 4 series or any of the games I did. But I feel like this year, it's a year that I want to make about me. I want to make it a year where I do things for myself, and whether or not people enjoy it, I could give two shits less. I just want to do stuff for me, which includes putting on my channel, me playing a game specifically that I loved as a kid that I never finished, that I would love to finish. And I also want to kind of get some nostalgia back in my life a little bit with playing this game, because it was something I remember being one of the first video games I ever really got interested in when I was a teenager. And so that's a big thing. I also want to get back into playing The Sims again and playing out storylines and all these things and doing videos and creative Sims and all that stuff, because I did love doing it. I just lost a lot of passion for it because I lost a lot of confidence in myself and my abilities to be a gaming YouTuber of any kind. And I just feel like that I gained a lot of that self-confidence back in the last few months since starting therapy, and so why not showcase that confidence a little bit more by putting out stuff that makes me happy and truthfully brings a sense of joy into my life and gets me to game again, which I haven't done in a long time. I also have writing goals for this year. So if you guys have been with me for a while, you may have heard that like back in the summer, I sent off my novel I've had now for about 7 years now been working on, that I sent out to an editor who is another booktuber, and I sent it off to her. She really seemed to like it, gave me some really good feedback. So this year I would like to finally make 2 more rounds of edits within that book, get it ready, and send it off to query to agents. I don't know if it's gonna end up being picked up by anybody. I truthfully don't care if it doesn't. I just want to put myself out there and just see what happens, because I don't know. I feel like it's something I want to do. It's something I've been thinking about doing since I was a senior in high school, and I just never got around to doing it. And again, I want to do things for me this year. I want to get things done that I never finished because I was too afraid to, and I feel like this is the year that I will get to do it. And one of the things I want to get done is get that book finished, get it sent out to people, and even if it doesn't get picked up, get some more feedback on it to continue working on it, because it's been a passion project of mine for years. I love the book every time I go back to read it. I love what I've done with it. I love what I have created with it over the last several years, and I love every time I get feedback of how to make it better, because I'm striving for perfection in a sense, but more so I'm striving to make it the best it can possibly be. And currently it's not there as of yet. It's almost there. Like, if we're looking at a scale from 1 to 100, it's about 60% of the way there, I would say. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done with it, and I know that. And I think a lot of that work is going to come with the next 2 rounds of edits, because I know for a fact I have to extend so much of that story, because there is no romantic plot that I wanted in there, but it's lacking so much because I was so afraid for so long to involve any kind of romantic element into the story. And truthfully, I think it's the only other part that is missing from this story, because it doesn't feel as romantic in one aspect of the story as I had originally thought it would. So I think this is the year that I just really take this for myself and just do everything I fucking want to do, because I spent so much of the last several years doubting myself, and 2020 especially, I was so stressed out with trying to get other things done, either for other people or like getting my wedding together, that I lost so much creativity and so much energy to that, and then I never got it back. So those are the goals I have for 2021. It's an extensive list. I don't think all of it's going to be attainable by any means, but I have some really good ideas for what I would like to do in the future that I would like to see come to fruition, or at least make progress with over the course of the year. Thank you all so much for joining me in this video. If you guys did enjoy it, please do give it a big thumbs up, and if you're not already and you'd like to be, hit that button down below and subscribe to become an owlet in our flock, and I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye guys!